So John is asking, hello, I would like to ask how 2 Kings 17:1 and 15:30 can be reconciled while still holding to an Assyrian captivity of 723-722 BC and without saying that this is a scribal error in the Hebrew text.
So, John, thank you. This is a very good question. And there's a lot of questions like this, right, that tend to come up where, especially at times when you try to reconcile, for example, the books of the Kings with the books of Chronicles or things like that, where you might have multiple accounts, or the Gospels, you have multiple accounts. But here, actually, it seems like they're, on the face, let's say, is there an inconsistency within even the books of Kings between Kings chapter 15, verse 30 and Kings chapter 17, verse 1. So let's take a quick look at these, starting with 2 Kings 15, verse 30. And it says, Then Hoshea, the son of Elah, led a conspiracy against Pekah, the son of Remaliah, and struck and killed him. So he reigned in his place in the 20th year of Jotham, the son of Uzziah. And so here talking about Hoshea, and he's starting the 20th year of Jotham. But then if we jump to 2 Kings 17, verse 1, it says, In the 20th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, Hoshea, the son of Eliah, became king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 9 years. So the question is, which is right? Or is there a mistake here where in chapter 15, it says that Hoshea started his reign in the 20th year of Jotham, but then later in chapter 17, it says Hoshea started his reign in the 12th year of Ahaz. So what's going on here? Seems inconsistent. How could you have both of those? This is something scholars have tried to make sense of. This sort of thing, again, is kind of common, and it's not something that we rush to say, oh, there is a mistake here. What happens when we really dig deeper and we look into these things, we realize that there's actually a lot of historical context that we might be missing. And then when we have that, it suddenly makes a lot of sense. And in this context, what there appears to have been going on this was a time of lot of political turmoil. And it was almost very analogous to kind of what we have now, where, is this person really the ruler, or did this person really become the ruler? Who's the ruler? And this is in fact called a co-regency time, where it's believed that you have Jotham, who was king. He was a good king, and he reigned for at least 16 years indisputably. But we have his son Ahaz coming along, and Ahaz is not a good king. He's listed as one of the wicked, evil kings, or at least one who did not do good. And there seems to be a little bit of angst or irks towards him in the Bible. And the Bible is trying to tell us that Ahaz may have come about almost like through a coup. Like he may have dethroned his dad, or they were sort of co-reigning for a while. So we have this possibility where both were reigning together, both kind of are sharing a throne, sharing power, and then ultimately Ahaz kind of gets deposed. But you have the authors of the Book of Kings kind of wanting to give the more favored king Jotham a bit more credit, because he's a good king. They want to give him more credit for sitting on the throne. It's kind of like the modern day equivalent almost of saying, well, this person's not my ruler. This person really was the one who should have been king. So again, I think kind of relevant with what we see going on with world events today. And here, this was applicable to what was going on with them. And more background on why the son Ahaz was a bad king. He was, during this time, wanting to cozy up with and become friends with Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, who later went and just totally pillaged and decimated and removed the 10 tribes of Israel, leaving only the kingdom of Judah left. And we could read about this relationship between the two of them, between Ahaz and Tiglath-Pileser, in 2 Kings chapter 16, starting at verse 7, where it says, "So Ahaz sent messengers to Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, saying, I am your servant and your son. Come." Oh, and notice that your son. It's almost like maybe saying, like, I'm not even wanting to associate with my dad, who was the prior king. He says, "Come up and save me from the hand of the king of Syria and from the hand of the king of Israel who rise up against me." And Ahaz took the silver and gold that he found in the house of the Lord. So he took God's money and in the treasuries of the king's house, and he sent it as a present to the king of Assyria. And thus, this is sort of how he starts his reign, and why a lot of the Jews historically then would not like Ahaz and want to give more credit to his dad being on the throne longer and having more of the legitimate reign for a period of time when they might have been struggling for power. So, hope that answers your question. It's a real good question. And thank you again, John, for asking that.